Love boobs, hate hands. That's me, I'm AI.
This is Safiya's new intro song.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another video. This week, I'm going to be buying AI dresses from Pinterest to see what we actually get. Let me get scammed so you don't have to. Now, as some of you guys might know, last year, we filmed a video buying unrealistic dream gowns from Pinterest, which, as an OG Pinterest user, was one of my longtime dreams. And though we did find a couple of real dresses on there that I honestly love, when we dipped our toes into the questionable side of Pinterest listings, we did end up buying a dress that, unbeknownst to us at the time, was actually an AI image masquerading as a real dress. Which, when I see it now, it seems so obvious, but at first glance, I actually had no idea. And this does seem to be an overwhelming phenomenon on Pinterest right now. Not only is there a wave of AI images as inspo pins across the site, but it seems like a lot of the questionable dress sellers on Pinterest have started using beautiful, swirly, unrealistic AI images as listing photos, and then selling them to unsuspecting customers. So beyond the usual concerns with generative AI that most of us have, learning from existing artists and stealing their style and content without their consent, replacing humans in creative jobs, and environmental concerns, amongst others, I am just waiting for the day I see an AI millennial half-Asian couple vlogging at the Singapore airport channel. I mean, if they can make the Loch Ness Monster vlog, they can do anything. Now, we also have to be worried about sketchy websites using AI as a marketing tool. They don't have to steal and re-edit people's existing photos and videos anymore. Now they can invent a product to sell you online and then send you a cheap interpretation that will probably look nothing like the original photo you saw, because it never existed in the first place. So in this video, we are going to be entering the belly of the beast, the AI dream gown marketplace on Pinterest, buying a few different dresses that clearly look AI generated and seeing what actually shows up. And if this can save even one person from being duped by an AI listing going forward, it's worth it. All right, so let's start our adventure. How about at Pinterest.com? Oh, and already a few suspicious-looking things have appeared, including a gravity-defying dress right here. Just saying. So we're going to be buying 3 different dresses today, and our first category is going to be something that could be considered a prom dress. Just because I feel like a lot of the AI dresses I see have kind of the style and price point of a prom dress, so maybe in like a prom dress frenzy, you might be duped by one of these listings. And I can already spot a bunch of AI listings here that we can dive right into. But before we do that, why don't we all get on the same page about what makes me pretty sure these are AI images? Now, a small percentage of these dresses do actually have an AI modified tag at the bottom of the image, which is a clear indicator that it's an AI dress, but a lot don't have that tag. So we have to go off some visual cues. First off is like extremely organic swirliness. AI loves like swirls and ombre and like slightly gravity-defying flounces. So if I see some impossibly light-looking tulle or spiraling wind-blown layers, that's a red flag. Like, I feel like if this was gonna be real, it would have to be like fully wired and like hand-draped. Really abstract swirled patterns on the garment or very abstract ombre gradients like dress biolage are also red flags. It looks like hair, doesn't it? It kind of looks like blue hair, curled and coiffed. And if the fabric looks so smooth that it almost looks like it's made of silicone or clay, that's another red flag. Honestly, it kind of looks like fondant or something. Like it looks like a Cake Boss cake. Some of these I just want to sink my teeth into. Just take a bite. I feel like it would feel good. Now, a lot of the dress forms in these pictures are armless, so the common tell of weird AI hands isn't really in play, but some of the mannequins do look a bit strange. It looks like it's almost like hollow or something. Also, the mannequin's boobs look like real boobs. And this wasn't the only dress that had human-like breasts. There were actually a few. Do dress forms usually have cleavage like that? I know they have boobs, but I feel like there's not usually the line itself. And when you do stumble upon a mannequin with hands, they are almost always super weird. It almost seems like a stereotype that AI would be bad at hands, but I think AI's kind of bad at hands. Love boobs, hate hands. That's me, I'm AI. Beyond appendages, something that often rings alarm bells for me with these listings are like romantic backgrounds, like rustically decaying wallpapers, simultaneously foggy and sunny outdoor fields, ornate rococo rooms, or like ambiguous liminal spaces, like wherever this gray and yellow dress is. Is it a painting studio? Is it a concert hall, a hallway? Is it a museum? Is it a school? I don't know, but it's like that generalized space that kind of gives it like a romantic feel. Some of them even have a hint of mystery to them. Yeah, especially with this like spectrous, like a glow in the back. It's almost like, is it a ghost? Ryan Bergara, will you enter this image for me? And tell me, is it a ghost? Sometimes furniture pieces in the background can also be a tell, like if they are misshapen or missing limbs, like with this legless ochre chair. And also, if things in the background start melting together, like this poor man whose head became a candelabra. Also, the room is engulfed in fog. The roof might be on fire. It's really strategic, well-trained fog. The fog stays behind the dress only, and only wraps around the little table in the back. Avoids the dress completely. Besides magic fog, there are some other red flags that we're gonna encounter as we shop, but I feel like that's a pretty good primer to get us all on the same page. And we've also now seen a number of the dresses that popped up when I searched for prom dresses. So let's get to choosing one. So after browsing past a bright yellow ball gown, that's like a Belle from Beauty and the Beast dress, in like a chinoiserie apartment, I had my eyes peeled for a more subtle AI prom dress that I thought someone could be easily duped by. Oh wow, look at this one. This does kind of look like a carved candle. Maybe it is not AI, maybe it's made out of wax, which was kind of hard to find because even with the ones I liked, the different elements were melting together. What is happening on the abdomen here? This part is a question mark to me. What's going on, guys? Or the dress was levitating off the ground? Because there's no bottom to this mannequin. There's nothing there. There's no bottom. Is it standing? Is it hanging? Is it lying down on its back? It looks like a bug in a museum. But eventually, I found this dress. This one, I feel like, combines a lot of the elements of some of the dresses we've been seeing with maybe a dress that is like slightly more my style. I really like the kind of like black, I don't know if it's beading, I don't know if it's embroidery, the black detailing, and then it does have some beautiful, smooth, flowing pleats that ombre into like a deep midnight blue and then black. Because of the texture and color of the dress, the diffused lighting, and the giant piece of flowing tulle draped in the background, I am pretty confident that this is AI, but it is potentially realistic enough looking that I feel like someone could be deceived by it. So I think that it fits the bill for us. This is the A-line deep V-neck tulle-long prom dress embroidered applique evening dress from Eva Fashion Dress for $280. Here she is, and yes, from what I can tell, the only listing photo is the one photo that we've already seen, and when I click into it, it is the same resolution as when it's smaller, so it is kind of pixelated. Eva Fashion Dress overall seems like a pretty illegitimate website. Like some of their other dresses for sale look pretty AI-y to me as well, which for my purposes is exactly what I'm going for. So let's get it, shall we? And see what type of prom dress we end up with. I'm interested to see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna loosely call our next category a fairy dress. Basically, we're looking for something fantastical, whimsical, and over the top. Basically. One of Pinterest's things is that it has a lot of fantasy inspo images, a lot of which are now AI, so I figured, why not try and buy one of these fantastical inspo images that these companies are now pretending they can sell. And though there were a lot of fantastical gowns, this one's kind of pretty, but the hands are a thing of nightmares. They're like black latex gloved skeletal hands. Two things that stuck out to me with the fairy gowns were that there were a lot of smooth and organically layered options, some where the gowns like descended into chaos. Where are we? It does look like an iPhone background. Looks like Zion National Park. And some that were a little more petal-like and Freudian. It is giving kind of like Georgia O'Keeffe vibes, especially in the sort of natural-looking skirt. It's a little labial, yeah, just a little bit. This labia dress also contained the other dominant theme of the fairy dress category, which was a huge abundance of appliques and random tendrils. It almost looks like the stuff you put on like shishito peppers, you know what I'm talking about? That look like they're growing upwards, outwards, and potentially nearly falling off. Yeah, this one has so many appliques, and they're all like so loosely adhered, it seems. Some of them seem like they're like butterflies like about to take flight. But after some browsing, I decided to go with this dress, mostly because I liked it the best. I really like long sleeves. There is a bit of a medieval vibe to this dress, and there's also a lot of flowing tulle and organic layers, and maybe even a full train in the back. And then also there are a ton of appliques. Once again, seemingly very loosely adhered. Some of them are flowers and some of them are just like specks, I feel like. Like, is that a little like origami crane right there? And even though it's not that relevant, I also really like the romantic brick background, featuring a mystery AI furniture piece right behind the dress. Like, that almost looks like a throne. It's a throne meets loom behind the dress form. So this is our fairy dress. The retro ball gown off-the-shoulder lilac tulle flowers evening dress prom dresses from Fashion Para. Once again, when we get here, there are no other listing photos besides the photo we've already seen. And interestingly enough, no reviews or ratings here at all. So I guess we will be the first ones to review it. So we'll see how well Fashion Para can fulfill our fantasy here. My hopes are not high. But if you need a little break from looking at melty AI images and want to find real products from real people at really good prices, you should check out the sponsor of today's video, Whatnot. And thanks to Whatnot, we are going to be doing a giveaway for you guys right now. Headlined by this sick $500 Foot Massaging Ottoman. Damn wait, I want one of these. As well as $500 worth of products from Whatnot that I'm going to be personally curating for you guys. Now, if you don't know, Whatnot is the #1 live stream selling app where you can buy, sell, or auction literally anything. I love using Whatnot to shop for vintage clothing, like this goth Lizzie McGuire Y2K butterfly top, vintage decor, and vintage Barbies. But Whatnot also has Pokemon cards, Legos, toys, even Labubus, collectibles, electronics, shoes, designer bags, makeup, fashion, and so much more. There is truly something for everyone. So for our giveaway haul, I'm gonna be shopping for like a full care package for you guys, including beauty tools, press-on nails, scented candles, and skull pandas, which are kind of like the cool alt version of Labubus. Yes, I got a matching one for me. And if you download Whatnot right now by scanning the QR code on screen or by using my link in the description box, you'll get $15 free off your first purchase anywhere on the app. And on top of the already discounted prices, $15 will take you a long way. And to enter our Whatnot giveaway, you just need to sign up for Whatnot using my link and then comment your username down below. But if you spend some or all of your free $15, you actually double your chances of winning. So why not try it out? Your feet and your wallet will thank you. All right, so next up, we're gonna look for a dress that is also fantastical, but potentially a little more my style. I feel like I've seen a fair amount of AI gowns on Pinterest that would fit into a kind of celestial goth type vibe. So we're basically gonna pursue a dress that I would want if it was real. Now, there are a lot of images that are in this celestial goth style on Pinterest. See basically my entire black wedding dress inspo board. Before we move on, I want to note whatever's happening here. Don't know. Kind of like it. Besides tiny witch seamstresses, there was also a dragon from Shrek bounding dress. Okay, this one is not for sale, but love the wings coming out of the sleeves. What are the wings supported by? I don't know. Just pure delusion. An early frontrunner for me though, was this dress. I really like the style of the bodice. I like the style of the sleeves. I think the way that the bodice turns into the skirt is extremely questionable. I don't know what's happening here at all. And I love the vaguely misty forest background. So I was leaning towards that one until I saw this one. So this is the aesthetic ball gown high neckline navy blue party dresses long prom from Sweet Dress Official, which is a majestic ornate blue winter gown and cape with a fuzzy muff. And beyond being one that I just like, it is also very different stylistically from most of the other AI dresses we've seen. A lot of the other dresses are sweeping and flowy and tulle and petally and potentially labial, and this one is structured and it looks like woolen. It's sort of giving off an ornate, almost Sansa Stark, Game of Thrones vibe, and it feels like a bold choice for a questionable dress company to go with something so structured and tailored, because it feels like these super flowy styles would be a lot more forgiving of mistakes. What's interesting is that it says in the item details that it is a sleeveless dress, which is interesting because, it looks like a winter dress, but I guess because of the cape, It could be anything under there. So I'm adding that to the cart, and I'm very interested to see what actually shows up. So with that, we have our 3 AI dresses on the way. Our catfishy prom dress, our fantastical fashion para dress, and our blue Sansa Stark dress. And the next time you see me, I'll have my haul. All right, so it's been a few months actually, and we now have all of our 4 AI dresses here, and we also have an expert.
Hi.
This is JoEllen from Firefly Path. She is a designer of fantastical dresses, and also Pinterest steals her design sometimes.
Yes.
So, an expert. An expert of this field. I've been a huge admirer of JoEllen's work as Firefly Path for years, and I feel like she is kind of the perfect expert to help us judge these dresses. Because not only does she have the exact fantasy fairy gown aesthetic that I feel like a lot of these AI images are trying to emulate, she herself actually ran an experiment where she tried to make an AI dress in real life. And she also has clients bring her AI inspo images all the time that she has to try and recreate, which, as she says, can get pretty tricky.
I mean, it's kind of like defies gravity and physics.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of like crunchy, melty things that happen with AI art. Trying to translate those textures and like fluidity into real life is really hard.
And if a super experienced fantasy gown designer like JoEllen finds it hard to recreate these AI images, it seems even less likely that these questionable sellers on Pinterest will be able to. So it's truly a mystery what we have in front of us.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see.
Could be anything. So we're gonna open up our prom dress from Eva Fashion Dress first. Here is the listing photo for this dress.
In here? This is gonna be in here?
That's the idea.
Wow.
Now, immediately, JoEllen was thrown into the thick of things.
Do we have forceps?
We need some forceps. I was gonna say, it's a little birth-like. Because this dress was nearly impossible to get out of its package. There she is.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay! We've birthed a lump. But after a few minutes of labor, our first impressions were, oh, the color, the smell.
I had one thing that I ordered that smelled like bacon, so this is not bad.
Okay, actually smell not bad. Smell not bacon.
Not bacon.
Now, immediately, ta-da! I do have to give Eva Fashion Dress some credit on the general elements of the image seeming kind of correct, actually.
I'm actually really surprised that like they got the gradient right. Like
The color looks right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. And the black lace detail was in the general right regions and shapes, though at some point around the armpits, it did just end.
This is so abrupt right here. It's just like, we're done.
We're done. We're done. Literally, you get only the amount of lace that was exactly shown in the picture.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not like 1 inch more.
Exactly.
And they did even seem to try and suggest some nicer details than we usually see, like a lace-up corset back.
The only thing I really hate is plastic boning.
Yeah.
It gets warped so easily.
And some mesh horsehair at the bottom of the dress, which is supposed to give the layers of the skirt some volume.
To give it like a little bit more structure than you know I thought was going to be in there.
More
So,
structure than nothing, for sure.
Yeah, not terrible.
So the overall vibe of the dress seemed to be not that bad, but not that good either. As honestly, once it was on, I think it's not the worst.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
I would say not the worst.
Yeah.
The plastic bodice of the dress was medium supportive. The boobs are a little high, like there's some slight emptiness like right here, but they're not completely in the wrong place.
Yeah.
They're in the general correct region. And I had been nervous that the skirt would be way too short, but it's actually tall enough for me. And I am wearing like little high heels, so that's pretty long. So I think we have ourselves a true Uncanny Valley dress here, as even though it's not that bad and does have some nicer touches, it still doesn't hit a minimum standard to elevate itself out of questionable dress territory. And looking back at the AI image, it doesn't really fulfill the majesty of what was promised, because even with the horsehair, the flowiness of the skirt just isn't really the same. If you were thinking like, what's the thing that didn't happen the most?
Yeah.
I think it's the bottom, like beautiful, like pleated flowing vibe.
It just doesn't have enough fabric in it to give it that effect, but it's ish, you know.
And though there is a gesture towards the lace details, it's just not as beautiful and delicate as it was in the picture.
I feel like they should have taken a little bit more creative initiative and just finished that detail instead
Right.
of just like having it end.
So one more swoop would have helped.
Yeah.
So I think I can safely say that you should not wear this to your prom, just like Tyler shouldn't have worn that white tuxedo. Sorry, Tyler. So next up is our purple fairy dress from Fashion Para, right up JoEllen's alley.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this one. I'm ready to pass judgment.
This is the listing photo for this image.
Oh, okay. I love this.
And like me, JoEllen seemed immediately drawn to this one, in theory, especially when I showed her the sprinkling of amorphous appliques strewn across the entire dress. Some of the flowers in the bodice is like, what is that? Is that an airplane? Like, what is that? What's that little guy? Like, what's he doing?
You gotta have your airplane flower on every fairy dress, of course.
And though she was a bit easier to get out of her package than our Eva fashion dress,
Oh, this is the front of the dress. She's coming out boob first.
she arrived on the scene purple and large.
Oh, she's just a slow unfurl job. She's rolled up like a yoga mat. Sorry.
No, she needs the whole table.
But immediately, even though there were appliques, they were a bit of a letdown, as they were all pretty much the same normal flowers all over.
No plane though, kind of disappointed.
No airplane.
I'm disappointed too.
The airplane would have been
Yeah.
about here, I think.
Yeah.
Which were a lot less delicate and also a lot less fun.
They're just really heavy for this fabric.
And when we flipped it around to the back,
No flowers on the back.
Don't eat them.
Don't. Not gonna see it. Don't eat them.
Don't eat them.
and though at first I was surprised and delighted to find a single giant sleeve,
This I'm excited about.
Wow, okay.
I then realized that I couldn't really find any of the other organic layers that were supposed to be on there.
I was interpreting this bit as like the skirt, but maybe they're like, no, this is just one long sleeve.
Yeah, that's another like AI thing. They just like meld all into like one goop.
So overall, a bit of a rocky start.
All right, here she is.
And once on, things continued to be funky.
It might just be my body, but there's something a little bit off about, the vibes are off, okay?
Specifically, the low-waisted silhouette seemed to be like very awkward on me.
This is pretty low waist. This is almost crotch. This is
Yeah.
almost crotch level.
Yeah, they're going for that deep V.
To be fair, I am very much short torso, long legs, but JoEllen actually thought that the awkwardness mostly came from the bodice lacking sufficient structure, and she also mentioned that if the V started higher on the hips, it would be more universally flattering.
Right, so like
So-
more V almost.
Yeah, exactly.
so it's more like,
Exactly. Yeah, but just the materials and the boning and everything, it's not it, you know?
But the V wasn't the only weird part, as it seemed like there was a tiny pair of boob cups way higher than my actual breasts.
It's giving you like this weird like double boob too. Like
Yes, it's the classic quadruple boob situation. One of the classic blunders, actually.
And though you guys know I do love a good long sleeve,
The sleeves are fun,
yes.
but as you can see, there is no other layering on the dress. Like, it is a way to disguise the fact that the skirt is nothing.
so the majestic layered vibe I was hoping for only exists if I hold my hands just so.
Oh, now the skirt is voluminous.
Yeah.
But pick up those sleeves and
I hope you're hungry for nothing. There's very little under there, okay?
so overall, I didn't have high hopes, but I'm pretty disappointed with how far it was from the image. The only thing that did seem to be accurate was that
Flower just fell off as soon as you did that.
no,
Okay, well, that's not the first one.
the flowers were one by one trying to free themselves from the garment.
The flowers are flying away, actually. They're flying off into the air and onto the ground.
Maybe they were airplanes at heart.
All right, and then next up, we have our hooded, caped Sansa Stark dress.
Ooh, okay.
Now, the ordering of this dress was a bit of a saga. We originally ordered this dress from Sweet Dress Official, who, after we placed our order, contacted us to let us know that they were out of the fabric they used to make this dress, and they didn't know when they would get it back in, so we should pick a different dress. So we then went to Classy Gown Alexa to try and purchase our second choice celestial dress, and after ordering, they let us know that they couldn't make that dress because they were out of the fabric. We then went back to Sweet Dress and, as a Hail Mary, tried to order the labia dress, which they told us they also couldn't make because they were out of the fabric. So we then went back to Pinterest and found this exact Sansa Stark image in a new listing from a company called Nygaard.
And we ordered it just on a whim to be like, maybe they can make it. And wordlessly, they sent it to us.
So I guess whatever it is, I'm thankful that Nygaard sent it to us.
All right, here she comes.
Now, I was expecting this dress to be a thick woolen or wintry fabric, but instead, upon first contact,
What is this? What is this feeling? It's not pleather. It's like something.
Oh God. Oh no. Yeah. This is just the worst, like cheapest satin you could use.
Oh, what a sound. A slap. Like a flipper hitting a pool deck, like a slap.
And in case you guys remember from the original sweet dress listing, yes, this dress is in fact sleeveless.
Oh no. It's because it's not in the rendering. They're just like, don't need it.
I think there's no sleeves.
So we were veering further and further away from Winter Goth Queen.
Here's the cape. Are there holes for the arms? I
Don't need them.
Arms? Don't need them. Hands? Do not need them.
And though honestly, compared to everything else, the fuzzy muff wasn't the worst part.
Ta-da! Brings it all together.
It really does.
It just kind of pushed us over the edge.
This dangles beneath like a child's chin
Yes.
in a school play.
Yeah.
You think that's a blue Tevye?
Yes, Tevye vibes, for sure.
So overall, things were looking grim. But let's just try it on and see how it looks.
All right, and then here is our Niulatu dress on. Here I am.
Here she is.
I am just a garment bag roaming this earth.
Now, before we dive into any of the details, I do have to admit I was having fun in just the general elements of this dress.
Seeing you in the distance, your silhouette looks like stately from a distance.
From a distance,
Yeah.
there are good things. Do not come closer than that, though, because you will see that every bead is trying to escape my body. They're like literally running away from me.
And to address the garment bag in the room,
I'm currently liking the fact that there's no hands, because I'm just like a weird like shape. But logistically, there should be a hole for my hands.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
and not only was there not a hole, but the silhouette of the cape itself was very straight up and down.
It should have more volume and swing to it instead of just encasing you in this shape.
I am somewhat encased.
So we missed Sansa Stark and arrived right at Larva.
Right, like what is this?
Regal worm. Like you're like the worm emperor.
I am so cool with that.
Yeah.
Regal worm
Yeah.
is the current status.
Now, though I was having fun in my cape,
What is this? Who does this? If you guys know who does this, let me know.
I think that this dress really hits the, if it's not explicitly in the photo, you are not getting it vibe with these AI listings, with the lack of sleeves, the lack of handholes, and
All this detailing, none of it in the back. It's completely blank.
Have the garment bag vibes increased?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
though it's not really like it hits the stuff that is explicitly in the image that well either, like with the beading and with the lack of magnificent clasp.
When I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cute. And then I look down at your iPad, I'm like, oh, I'm angry. Like that, it's not that.
And it's also just not a very good dress. So I think anything I like about it is just the concept.
Like I just like big sweeping capes, but I cannot in good faith recommend this dress in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's more of like a concept sketch of what it should be.
Now, as a final experiment I've been conducting on the side, one issue I've noticed across Pinterest is identical listing photos being sold by multiple companies. And since there were a lot of other companies selling the exact same AI image that we had purchased in our last video from Denver Dress, I ordered one from a company called Preppy Dress to see if buying from a listing with this exact same image would yield the exact same dress we got last time. Or not. And after unboxing our Preppy dress,
Oh, different.
I can say it's not the same at all. Now, our original Denver dress did not really look like the AI image, so the Preppy dress being different doesn't necessarily mean it's worse. In fact, in a lot of ways, it was better, with a deeper red color.
This one is more uniformly like deep wine, which I really like. I really like the color of this one.
More detailed lace on the bodice and a flowier skirt, but there were a few confounding choices that were made.
One, the feathers.
I guess they saw the little tendrils above the sleeve and decided to go with feathers.
It's like, why did they not like choose a feather that's the same color as the wine? Like, I don't know.
A mystery we will surely never have the answer to.
The lining down the middle of the dress was also for some reason a beigey ochre color, and I still think these leaves down here look a little weird.
When you look at what is this part of my body? The thorax. When you look at like the leaves that are down here, you're like, what pattern is that? What are we following right now?
It's just AI melt. Yeah.
So it seems that these identical listings are probably not coming from a single source or manufacturer, and it seems more likely that these questionable dress companies are sharing a pool of popular AI images that they are all then interpreting in their own way, sometimes with feathers.
I can see like the direction they were going with this, but if I were to make it, it would just be just completely different, just the way it's like constructed.
I love the feedback is, it's not that bad, but I would do everything differently.
Yes, yes.
Now, there are currently a fair amount of tropes and red flags that, if you look for them, can help you figure out if something is an AI image or video with a decent amount of certainty, but there is still a margin of error. And I have noticed that specifically in the realm of fashion and dress design, but also other genres too, real people who just make really cool couture designs with handcrafted materials, flowing textures, and high-definition cameras are being accused of being AI and lying to customers, when in fact they are real and their designs are just cool. And who knows how long it will be before AI levels up and makes it even harder to tell what is AI or not. On a positive note, Pinterest is introducing a feature where you can tell it if you don't want to see AI-modified images on your feed, and they say they will adjust your algorithm to filter those images out. But just like how the AI-modified tag only appeared on some of the images we saw, I'm not sure how well Pinterest can currently recognize when something is AI or not. For now, it seems like with these questionable dress sellers on Pinterest, along with all of the other classic problems of not knowing where their dresses come from or the conditions under which they were made, they just don't really have the capabilities to recreate the weird, floaty, shiny, tooly things that AI does. So I got scammed, now you don't have to. A huge thank you to JoEllen for investigating these dresses with me. As a master dressmaker, I have no doubt that she could have done much better.
I was gonna say, maybe that's the next video.
Yeah.
Making AI dresses in real life.
But better.
But better.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
better.
Yeah.
It's like a Rosanna Pansino x Joshua Weissman inspired frame, right?
So let me know if you'd like to see us do another collab. And with that, I will see you guys next time.